Welcome to the Eagle Eye Podcast. The #1 show to bring you all things Club America and English.
Oh, what a strike! Club America!
Your hosts for today are Ivan Pineda, Cristian Rosendo, Alexis Juarez, and everyone's favorite cowboy, Dylan Jimenez. Goal! Now let's hit the field and start the show.
America!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast. Correct, you are listening, and this is a new episode. No, you are not fallen into the Matrix or something. We are truly, indeed, back to talk all things Club America. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, these guys are just gonna come, and then they're just gonna leave me, and they're just gonna disappear again. And whilst that may be possible, we are going to try to make sure that that does not ever happen. Again, we're going to try to stay as consistent as possible. And we're just excited to be back. We've tweaked a couple of things, one of them being the fact that this is now a pre-recorded episode rather than going live, how we usually used to do it. That just helps a little bit with the time schedule and everything. But you guys are going to hear more from us. You guys are going to see a little bit more. We're going to have a recap episode. We're going to have a preview episode. So that way you guys have content to push you guys throughout the week. Now, that I've gotten all of that out of the way, let me introduce, as always, my beloved co-host, the duo from New York City. It is none other than Cristian Rosendo and AJ. How are we, gentlemen?
Doing well. Excuse me if I'm a little choppy today. I'm having internet issues, but I had to make the commitment to be on the return show. It's been a while. Like Ivan said, we're gonna try to stay as consistent as possible. We may get into a little bit of why the little hiatus happened, but just know that we are trying our best to make this happen for you guys, and I'm just excited to be back talking about Club America.
That's right. And AJ, how are we doing on your side?
Doing good. I graduated from the time we went on hiatus, so there's that. It feels good to be back. It's been quite a hot minute since we last recorded an episode on here, but all in all, doing good.
It definitely has been a lot has gone. These guys have gone through a lot of lives. AJ is now fathering 7 children. Christian is he's in trouble with the tax with the IRS. So we got a lot going on right now. So, but it's fun. It's good to be back. And gentlemen, talking about something new and upcoming, we have a debut today on the podcast. Is someone that we announced a while back that he was joining the team, and whenever we did come back, he wasn't able to hop onto the podcast then. But making his debut today is none other than Chris Rivera. Chris, how are you?
Brother, this is not even my debut.
It's not.
That's how
my second
long
one.
You've been out for.
This is my re-debut.
This is yeah. That's the first one didn't count. This is the second one.
Yeah, everything's good, bro. Everything good. Really hot as we live in the same area, so
Yeah, it's ridiculously hot right now.
While everyone's going into fall, we're starting our real summer.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyone in the California region and you're bearing with this heat, no, you're not alone. We are dying over here. So I don't know. You guys over there in the East Coast are probably having it nice right now.
It's hot right now.
Yeah, honestly, like summer doesn't really end yet, but like yeah, it's still disgusting outside, humid.
I'm ready for the fall though. I love the fall and the winter.
Same. Likewise. You see me at Starbucks getting my caramel macchiato
Or the pumpkin spice.
Because it's back. So.
It's gonna be hot for us until November.
Yeah, no, this heat lingers, and that's the most terrible thing about it. But yeah, well, thank you to our listeners who are tuned into our weather service channel. And now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk all things America, boys. As America has made it lucky number 7 now. 7 wins in a row for an Americanismo that started off the season on a little bit of a rough patch. And Chris, I think you alluded to it whenever we talk about it. It was maybe due to the fact that, preseason had to be cut short. And then we had, meaningless friendlies that were thrown in between that really kind of halted the process for Tano. But at the end of the day, they've picked up form and everything. So how are you seeing this America side now?
Just how I expected it to be once those friendlies were over. I'm a big fan of Tano, and I was very defensive when you guys were saying in our group chat, "Oh, it's time to get rid of him." To me, it's just the right style of play. I think if you look at our offense, it's probably the best offense we've had since I don't even know when, bro. Like it's really, really good. We could have not to get too far ahead, but we could have beaten this Tigres side by multiple goals if we wanted to. Like I'm just really happy with how I'm seeing this team play.
Yeah, and a lot of people are alluding to that, and I think a lot of us were saying the same thing even when Thanos started picking things up in his first tenure, his first season with the club. They were in a rut. He was able to make them play much better offensively, defensively. It was just a much well-rounded team overall. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I was one of those guys who said fuera Tano, but he's convinced me to keep him still, but he's got to do exactly what any manager at America's got to do, and he's got to deliver, and that's only with a championship title. um because I think you're right, Chris. Offensively, we have a really good attack, but I would even argue we have a well-rounded squad overall. I think we have depth in every aspect of the field. Maybe potentially right back is what we lack a little bit, but I think we still have someone that can come in and do the job. As far as where I look everywhere else out on the pitch, I think depth wise, this is a good America side. And let's be honest, if it wasn't the case, I mean, this next month is really going to challenge us because there are very, very few little days that these players are going to have of rest, and it's going to be a lot of games that are going to be played within that time period. But AJ, talk to me a little bit more about this America side. 7 wins in a row. Things are looking to be on the up and up. We are officially, are we still top of the league? Hold on, let me check that right now.
Yep.
If not,
On
then
top
we're
of the
sitting
league.
second. We're
Still
still
on top
top?
of the league. Yep.
Then look at that. We're still on top, with one game in hand. Things are looking all right.
Yeah, no. First, like every American just get ready to bit of a bumpy start. We were already being really worried, and we're already pressing that panic button where it say, yeah, we want Tano out because let's be real, you're playing in a league where if you get the results immediately when you are managing a big club in Mexico, you want them out already. It's done. I guess it was really all about patience, really. See how long it would take for this America side to finally flourish and find their form. And after the friendlies we had against Chelsea, Man City, and Real Madrid, it seems things just picked up from there at that point. And we found our forms like here, winning 7 games in a row. This team is starting to perform the way a lot of Americans have wanted this team to perform under Tano. And all in all, Americanistas are looking really optimistic right now. And many are even saying at this point, I think this could be the squad to finally lift up the 14th title. And we just need to keep continuing our good run of form and just all in all, just keep doing what we're doing out here on the pitch. It's balling for a full 90 minutes, scoring goals, and getting the wins.
Agreed. Christian, we've been in this boat before, right? We've had a bunch of hubris feelings where we thought, well, we're on top of the world and no one's going to stop us. I mean, just take you back a couple years back with Solari and his, winning era, where granted it wasn't as pretty as this Tano side, but we were on top of the world still, saying, we were top of the table or at least second place, or we would have had the league leadership if it wasn't for that game against Atlas. But it's we've been here before. America has been in this situation countless of times. But what do you think is different about this one that might potentially convince the rest of us that this could be the season?
It's just the simple fact that these players are behind Tano and what he believes in. We've seen them multiple times, multiple players expressing themselves, how they enjoy the style of play that they're doing, and just they believe in what Tano's trying to do. And I think it's captured, majority of the fans. And like AJ said, everyone believes that this could be the season to lift to 14th, including me, since I already put money on it that we're gonna win the league. So it better happen.
Nice. I like it. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this Tigres game, since that's exactly what we came to do here, to recap that game. It was a 2-1 overall victory. I mean, Chris, you alluded to it. We could have had a couple more chances. Uh, do you think it was just poor finishing, or what do you think that that score line wasn't bigger than what it actually should have been?
I think Tigres just adjusted. If you look at the second half, it looked like we were asleep, and it was just one of those things where We just couldn't find a way through. That Sendejas goal that they took away was a beauty, though. And
It was
I think
100%.
one thing that we need to highlight too is, Viñas was part of every. Yeah, everyone that knows me knows I slander Viñas a lot, but let's give props where where it's due. Like he was part of every goal, even that goal that didn't count. And it goes back to what we were talking about, depth. It's good that if Henry goes down or anything happens, knock on wood, but at least we have someone there that could at least provide in that way. And I think
Yeah.
it was just simply Tigres adjusted that second half. I mean, Dylan said it in our group chat. It was, I'm falling asleep, and that's really how that second half was. It was just very,
Snooze fest.
yeah.
Mhm.
Which I mean, you can't knock the team on that. I mean, you can, and I am a bit, but yeah, it's been a lot of games in a short period of time, and with the way that we play, it's I would imagine exhausting having to go the full 90 minutes with that kind of rhythm, you know. But credit to the team. Part of the things that a lot of people say, a good team knows how to manage the game and knows how to manage it properly. And I think an America side that can hold off even for a one goal victory against a very good opposition, because let's face it, Tigres was going to be our kind of big test coming into this. Um, they did well. They did well. And AJ, I don't know if you have any caveats about this game, but I think overall it was impressive to see that this America side, at least for the first 45 minutes, was able to, play a well-rounded game.
Oh, of course. Especially we scored in 56 seconds from the get-go.
That's
We
very
that
good.
that was very good. Something that you don't really see that much from an America side. Usually takes us like a couple of minutes or so to adjust and get our goal. But for us to score in those opening minutes, it gave everyone the indication it's going to be a goal fest. But as soon as Tigres responded back with a goal of their own in the 9th minute, or from there it's like, okay, it's back to square one. Let's see how we're gonna turn things around, which we did eventually in the first half. Right before the second half ended, Sendejas scored a great goal. Ended up getting Diego Reyes to go face plant on the floor, which was great to see. But from there on, yeah, second half, it was tough. As Chris mentioned, Tigres adjusted. They were fighting for that second goal, but America did everything to their ability to prevent that second goal from Tigres ever happening. It got more scrappy than anything, in all honesty. The Tigres were making the substitutes that they needed in order to get themselves back into this match. But all in all, America did their homework, and at the very end, they won at home and grabbed all 3 points. Also, really love the celebrations now that they do whenever a goal is scored by America. They get the little nightlight show and the flames going.
Oh, the little yeah.
Yeah, I like that now, especially
The
for
pyrotechnics. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a nice added to the show. I think the Azteca needed a little something to make it look a little bit more. It gives me very much Seattle Sounder vibes. I don't know if you've seen whenever they play and they score, the fire comes out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, but
Rebels do that too, and you
yeah,
can show those with their nightlight shows as well. So there's
it's just
that.
an added to the atmosphere, I guess you can
Mhm.
say. But overall, like you mentioned, AJ, pretty well, pretty well. And Christian, I mean, who's to say that we weren't spoiled for a goal fest? I mean, you're looking at this America side. 21 goals have been scored in total since that tragic defeat to Leon in league play. I mean, that shows that there's some consistency up front, which is something that we haven't had in a bit. Like
Yeah.
Chris alluded to, we have probably the best attack we've had in the past couple of years. Um, and overall, it's just it seems like this team's flying right now.
Yeah, and it's due to the fact that people are picking up their form. At the beginning of the season, we kind of saw Cabecita, not really coming to himself just yet, just being out of game rhythm. Diego Valdez wasn't the same Valdez that we all hoped, and probably now starting to slowly get back into that determining factor up front. And of course, our top goal scorer, Henry Martin. Who would have ever thought that we could be sitting right now and he is the league leading goal scorer? And to have something like that in America, which we haven't had in years, to say that we have the top goal scorer on our team is definitely an added
Oof.
bonus. And it's just all these parts are going to be fundamental going forward. To close out the season strong because we still have a good amount of games left with some good opponents still. So it's time to really, really like come together and be sure that we're ready for playoffs.
Yeah, this is still in the long stretch of things, right? But overall, this America side is looking good. We're talking about a team that in Tigres that were coming up. They were doing their thing, and we were able to stop them at our grounds. Sure, it was a tale of two halves, which is something that we don't like to really talk about or hear. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think if we try to look at it from a positive perspective, it's more about managing a game rather than, scoring 7 goals, which is something that I think now every Americanista is going to have to be a little bit, I mean, let's face it. Now, after that scoreline, we were spoiled. So now we're going to continuously think that this America side can do it, and they can. It's just them having and the will to actually go about it and do it all. But Christian, you mentioned that there's a lot of good opponents coming up in a bit, and such a short period of time. Do you think the beginning of the season, where we saw a bunch of America games within a span of a couple of days, is going to prove to be beneficiary to this side because they're going to have more of that rhythm and accustomed to end the season like that? Or do you think it's going to hinder the way it did at the beginning of the season for us?
So I'm a strong believer in all good things must come to an end, and when I would love to end the season on a winning streak, there is gonna be a couple of games like that Querétaro game. Like there are gonna be games where like we're just look sloppy from all fronts, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this is gonna be the game that we potentially lose or draw. But I'm looking. I think this week we should be okay. Even though we have a game tomorrow, then we have another one Friday. If I'm am I correct on that?
Yeah,
Start,
you're correct. Necaxa's
starting.
Friday.
Right. Yeah.
Starting.
So maybe this could be the week too. That's one. That's only 2 days of rest before we have to go again. And these games are away as well, right?
No, San Luis is home. That's tomorrow.
That's
And
tomorrow, and
then
then
Necaxa's Friday. And that's the one that I'm worried about, to be honest.
right, exactly. So, and it's Friday night games aren't really nice to us anyway.
No.
So, we got to see, and we just got to hope that Dano also rotates. Like Chris said, I love our starting 11 that we have now. I love that he always puts them out because it is the strongest 11 we do have. But we do have the luxury of having players that can come in and do the same job. So, a bit of rotation this week is definitely expected. I just hope that the team keeps up the good form.
No, yeah. Understandable. Um, I think we've talked very much highly of this team already. Let's take a step back now. Go back to this Tigres game because there's something I wanted to allude to. We talked about a very good defense. I mean, sorry, a very good offense, but we haven't really highlighted how well of a defense this Atano side has constructed. I mean, I'm looking back at the stats. You're looking at one, two, three, four clean sheets since they lost to Leon, and a total of 4 goals received in what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 7 matches, right? 4 goals in 7 matches. That is ridiculous, AJ. So defensively speaking, we're talking about a good defensive side in America, but some of the goals we do concede, though, I'm thinking to myself, well, we could have somehow prevented that. I mean, you're looking at the goal that Tigres scored, right? The rebuttal to Cabecita's goal. Lara's got to be picking up Gignac in that far side, and he is he's just he's caught ball watching basically.
Yeah, no. Emilio Lara, outstanding player from America this season, coming up from the ranks of the academy. Great guy. But yeah, it's just those instances that he needs to pick up on his game. It's marking your man because there's times like that, like you mentioned, that Gignac goal could have been prevented if he just looked back and just stayed put to where Gignac goes with that ball. Because you give him that much space to Gignac, he's gonna punch you. It's exactly what happened. It's one of those instances where it's like, yeah, I know he's still young, he's gonna learn along the way. But in a game like this, which it was a big game for America, it's like one of their big tests this season. You can't allow things like that to happen, especially when it comes to Liguilla. You definitely do not want that to happen. So for Lara, really, no, really, that's just the only moment I really had to point out where he just did not step up to the plate on the occasion where we need him to. It's those instances where if a goal like that had scored, it really could have changed the tie of the game, which it did in that moment. It was tied up again. America then had to go right back to square one, figure out, okay, how are we going to score our second goal this time around? But all in all, as the defense as a whole, really great though. To only concede 4 goals in 7 games, if I remember correctly, like you said, Ivan, we're
Yep.
also one of the top teams in goals least conceded with 11. We're tied, I think, with Rayados and maybe another team. Could be wrong, but all in all, credit to all these players, especially with a defense like this. When you're looking at 2 guys like Bruno Valdes and Sebas Cáceres, guys that have been slandered by the Americanismo from seasons, always constantly wanting them out. But see now how they're performing under Tano and how we're able to keep such a consistent performance in the defense, especially credit to Ochoa as well with making great saves. And there's even nice where he doesn't even have to do much. It's really just either just having to
Mm-hmm.
punt the ball or just take the goal kick. Really, that's about it. So in all, really outstanding performance by the defense throughout this entire season. And one of the guys I'm definitely going to be rooting for a lot, Emilio Herrera. Just pick up those little mistakes and improve on them. And on all, you got that right back position right there. Maybe not for long. He could be sold in the near future. But for now, just got to enjoy Emilio Herrera while he's at the club.
No, most definitely, And Chris, you've been someone that has spoken about this defense whenever we've talked about it, and you've mentioned that the best partnership that we have is Nestor with Sebas. How did you look at this defense tactic on Saturday against Tigres? Because you mentioned it. We were able to sit back in a second half and be a little bit dull, but we maybe bended a little bit, but we never really broke.
I think we needed to work on set pieces, on defending them, because there was a couple headers that Gignac, if he headed it right, it's a goal, and that's my only concern is that I'm still very iffy when it comes to Bruno and Cáceres when they start. If you put Araujo in with any of them, I think we're good. But if something happens and we have to have them too, I'm not that confident, if I'm being honest.
And that's well understandable. But like I said, at the end of the day, though, and then like AJ mentioned that 2 players that have been heavily criticized and rightfully so by this Americanismo, 2 players that are holding it down in the meantime. And at first when we originally thought all was well with those players, that they would be the center back partnership. Now of course we want Araujo there with anybody else, but they're doing fairly well. And
Yeah.
that's all we can ever ask for right now. And like Cristian said, we gotta keep it going and finish strong the season with these heavy rotations that are, they're gonna happen. Injuries are bound to happen, but we alluded to the depth is something that could give us a very good, comfortable kind of position.
Isn't Richard Sanchez injured?
Richard, yes.
And
Richard
Bruno
is out.
too. He was
Bruno.
injured as well in that game. Subbed out for Araujo.
Mm-hmm. And then, but who else is out?
So who would you guys rather see, Aquino or Jonah? Tomorrow.
They're both very defensive.
Yeah.
It
but
just varies because Pedro could be a bit of a hothead at times. So if you were to get a yellow card from the get-go, that's not good because that's what we're going to either need to play more cautiously or you're going to have to sub him out. John, on the other hand, not as much as a hothead and just more stays back rather than Aquino, who can also defend and attack if needed. So it just varies on the game plan.
Personally, for me, I like Jonah's ability on the ball much better than I do Aquino's.
I think Jonah can go forward better than Aquino. So that could be an added positive as well.
Yeah. Because Jonah could definitely be very box to box in that sense. Mm-hmm. And so I like him on the ball. I think Pedro Aquino sometimes makes a little bit countless mistakes when passing. You saw it all the time with especially in those friendlies. Like he was giving up the ball in our half in terrible positions to be giving the ball away, and then now you're stuck frantically, trying to win that ball back, and it's not a good position to be in. But I would like to have Jonah instead of Pedro in that position. But it's not to say that neither of them can do the job, which I'm sure they can.
Right?
It's just and granted, more so now with the competition being so tough, you would imagine whoever gets playing time is gonna want to secure a spot, because I think the squad very well knows who's the starters and who has a substitute role. And I think it's a battle out there to see who can finish in the best form, because they know that Ligia at the end of the day, AJ, is nothing but how you're coming into it.
Mhm.
So we'll have to wait and see. What is the points that you officially need to get in order to quote unquote be qualified for Ligia? Is it 28?
I want to.
Right?
I really want. I
Yeah,
really,
Mathematics-
it's around 28.
it's
Yep.
around the 28 mark.
So technically, with a win against San Luis, we would be quote unquote in the Liga.
If we're securing the top 4 position, yeah. I guess in terms of Liga, yes. But top 4, I think we would need maybe like another win or two to then fully secure our spot. We don't have to play in repechaje. So
No, yeah, to fully secure top 4, you need at least 3 more victories.
I think it's important we secure 1 or 2, just so we get home field advantage up until.
I want 1. I want first place.
I want first place as well.
First place is definitely doable for this squad.
And definitely possible. Yes.
Yes, and I want it because I want full home court advantage throughout the entirety of the Liga. There's no way, no hiccups possible. So I want first place. And well, like you said, Christian, it's very much doable in that aspect. So, anything else you guys want to add on in regards to this America Tigres game? It was nice that America did a little recognition to Guillermo Ochoa, who was out there with his family for officially being the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets in the history of America. Wow. Which, funny enough, Chris, they always say that Ochoa is the most scored on goalkeeper, but yet he was able to achieve something that no other goalkeeper has.
Yeah, when Corona's the most scored goalkeeper in the league, but
yeah, that was.
I'll leave it as that. I'll leave it as that.
Yeah. No, yeah, indeed. Also, nice to see that orange kit again.
The carrot.
Oh, I love it.
It's nice. I don't know, and I'm not a big fan of like those bright orangey colors, but
you're gonna buy it.
But I'm gonna buy it if I find it at the Pulga,
It's Chavo del Ocho vibes, bro. When they had those,
yes,
they had those
no, oh yes, it reminds me of the third kit that we got last time.
That's
right?
like really what I said to my mom when I saw the jersey. I'm like Chavo del Ocho. That's what I was thinking of from the get go when I saw that. And Ochoa looking like a carrot. That's the other thing I thought about. He looked like a carrot.
The curl, yeah. That was good. That one's good. Well, it's fine. Finally, America's able to, have Ochoa play with the actual goalkeeper kits for the season. He was using, and the ladies are still using the ones from last season too. Which I don't know.
Is there a backstory to that?
I don't know. I got to do more digging into that, but I want to say that there was a shortage in production line for Nike, because you're looking at the players and whoever follows me on Twitter knows that I was talking about this the first couple of weeks that they were playing in. The players were using the fan version jerseys for a good chunk. Actually, the last game we used them was against Real Madrid. Against Real Madrid was the last time we used fan jerseys, and then we officially started using the authentic player kits the following game after that. So, and the authentic version isn't available for purchase for America. So there is, I don't know if there was a shortage in Mexico for Nike, which has caused a delay. Which, I mean, you're talking about everywhere else in the world, Barcelona, Liverpool, PSG, all those have the authentic kits available for purchase, and their players did not have to use the $90 jersey to play their games. So I think there was a production line issue right there. I mean, I have to do more of a digging, but that's my incline. My hunch is that's the case. And I mean, Mexico is, always had its issues. So I think that's in a sense why the kit delay was in that sense. And I don't know, Ochoa's taking him 12 jornadas to finally use his own kit, which I'm assuming the ladies probably will get their own next game, AJ. So
should be by then.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, interesting stuff there. But I mean that pretty much wraps it up for America 2-1 against Tigres, a good opposition that America was able to kind of come back to. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was a lot of slander on Cordova. And I saw a video of people that were at the stadium and they were just telling him off. And I was like, Jesus, that
My
is
man was watching Fidalgo's back the whole game.
Su ídolo. At that point, he's like, that's what I
Yeah.
aspire to be.
It was
great. Fidalgo had a monster game, by the way.
Oh
He
my
did.
god, bro.
he is
Monster
in
game.
incredible form.
Yeah,
I really
is.
hope he doesn't want to go back to Europe. I hope he just says,
I
"Hey,
hope, I hope he
I'm
said I
European.
will
That's not
become the
my dream."
America ídolo.
Exactly.
Could Fidalgo? Okay, let me put a big what if out there. Could Fidalgo aspire to even live in half of Carlos Reynoso's shoes, since he is porting that number 8?
I
If
think it's
he-
way
it-
too early. to say
Yeah,
anything like that.
that's early. He's gotta like.
But I will say one thing though. I can't find an Americanista who doesn't like Fidalgo.
And that's a good start. That's a good start. You know.
You
You'd
know,
be surprised. I've seen it.
you've seen a couple.
I've seen the goal. It's
That was me.
What-
I'll admit, that was me at first. He was making some mistakes. I say they call him El Mago for a reason. He's a magician that could disappear when we need him the most, and that dude's just gone for the match.
I didn't like him during his Solari time because it was all passing back, and I thought we were.
We're being
So that
possessive.
was using
Like
incorrect,
we
I
weren't,
guess.
Yeah,
we weren't like the most exciting side to watch under Solari, despite us like securing like top fours all the time. Yeah, we were not fun to watch though. So,
But I
So-
think now he's taking on that new role and a new position, because under Solari he was a cam, and
Yeah.
now he's a
There's a
center
CM.
mid. He's
And
an
it's-
8.
and it's funny if Cordova stays, they would have been on the field together. If we're being honest, we probably don't
Yeah,
even bring.
he would've
in
been the camp.
Valdez.
he would have been the camp
Yeah.
right there.
But he used to play CM for Castilla though, and that's where he really shined.
So I think he's loving it under Tano. Let's be honest.
He loves it.
Everyone
He's
is
loving
though.
it.
Look at
Yeah.
Sandeja's
Amazing.
celebration. You know,
Yeah,
after the
and
whole
that's something that
Tata
maybe
thing.
we didn't highlight enough too in this game. I mean, had a tremendous goal that was rolled offside, and then his second goal, which was phenomenal. That ball was going in regardless of whether
Yeah.
that defender touches it or not. That was a little bit harsh to give it as an own goal,
And
but
for Tigres fans, it wasn't a red.
no, it wasn't.
I've seen them be very loud on social media saying that it's
Definitely not a
America.
red.
That's not a red. That's not a
definitely
red.
Well, it's
not.
a
The yellow was justifiable.
Yes.
That's okay, but definitely not a red.
It was
It's
no
not a
intent.
red.
It was
no-
nasty,
there was no
but it
intent.
was a slip. It was he touched the ball and the ball made him slip. That's not.
Yeah,
on-
there was no intent on him wanting to actually step on it. No.
Yeah.
It's one
If
of
you
those
see
moments that
his eyes the whole time were on the ball.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those, harsh tackles that sure, some people see it borderline, but at the end of the day, you can't expel him for something like that, And the kid's living life right now, Sendejas is living it up. He's exactly what everyone wanted him to be. He's starting to shine, and I think he still has a lot more to give. Let's be honest. I think he still has a lot
Even
more to
more
give.
so now that we acquired Brian Rodriguez, so he has to have another fire lit under him
Yeah.
to keep up the good form.
And we haven't even talked about Roger and Brian coming in too. Like we
Right,
talked
They're
about
all on
that.
the bench.
they're basically two new reversals. If we're being
Yeah.
honest here.
Yeah. So it should be good. And look, they're going to have playing time because the amount of matches we're getting in the next 2
Yeah.
weeks is ridiculous.
100%.
So they're going to have minutes.
But it's like, can they
So-
respond when they get the minutes? That's the real question.
That's the truth. But if you're Sendejas, you're looking at it, you're like, man, I'm good. I'm doing good. I got to stay better. And you know what? I think he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to go to the World Cup.
But for
Yeah.
who
He does-
is the question?
With who? That's the question.
I think it is for Mexico. Yeah, I don't know if you guys
Mhm.
saw what
Yeah.
they reported. It was that the Mexican Federation gave him a paper and said, "Sign this."
Yeah, that he has
While
to sign this.
While he was going inside the bus, and he was like, "Well, can I have time to read it?" And they took that as him saying, "I'm not going to sign it."
The one-time foul switch thing.
Yeah, for the one-time switch, right?
But it was like while he was going inside the bus, and it's like, come on. And people are questioning if that's true. Like, why would he lie to? Like,
Yeah. No, I think, and let's be honest, like he is probably our best right winger for right now. I mean, he's up there with Diego Lainez for competition as to who could fill that spot. You're not gonna tell me that anyone else is
Mhm.
more capable. filling in the shoes
Yeah,
that
no, and
Tecatito is
with
going to
all
be
these
leaving.
injuries happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a perfect time for him.
if you're the federation, you're not going to be stupid about it. I mean, let me not say that because there's this very questionable decisions that have been made
Yeah, no, they're
with this
terrible.
tenure
Like
of Tata
this
Martino.
this World Cup is looking less and less like I'm losing hope literally by the second.
Yeah, but it's okay because it's more about America. Let's send America to the World Cup instead.
I'm
Exactly.
I
down.
mean, hey, we did that at one point when we
Yeah,
won the chip.
the
You all just
2014.
sent like 8 players. Are like, yeah, you're in the starting 11. You're playing. Look at that.
I mean,
We
I still
called
don't
up
see why
Layun.
people don't say Luis Fuentes for left back.
He's got it all. It's just the age and pace. That's like
It's
the
just the
only
age that's
downside.
against them.
It's
But
just,
let's be
yeah.
honest, like if you watch even like Arteaga, it doesn't really stand
Yeah.
out.
He's
you
not
know?
shining anymore like he used to.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I'm just saying, just send America instead, and you have a much better World Cup. All I'm saying. But
And
all
then
right,
Fidalgo
gentlemen.
should stay in Mexico, get his citizenship, and play for Mexico.
I think he's in his second year, right?
Yes.
Living in the
Third, I
country.
think it's his third year, if I'm not mistaken.
He came in 2020, no?
Yo, we've been so lost with
Yeah.
time.
So it's
like,
2 years. So it's
oh,
2 years.
okay, yeah.
I think he needs to live there for another 2. I think it's 4 years, and then you can get your citizenship.
He'd be 27 by then. Ooh.
Oh, that's prime Fidalgo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this time Fidalgo. But we gotta check the stats on that because I don't know if that's correct.
Oh yeah, I was gonna Google it, but I was like, it's gonna take a minute because I gotta read. But hey, maybe it's doable. And you know what? Fidalgo doesn't even look that old. I always thought he was younger.
Yeah, he has a baby face.
It's that
That's
baby
why.
face, yeah.
He does have a
Yeah.
baby face.
How old is he? 25?
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's around the same age as Sendejas.
Yep.
Sendejas doesn't even look that old either. Honestly, not gonna lie. I thought this dude was like in his like early 20s.
Yeah. Dang. But hey, that's good. They're coming up in the right time, and hopefully they peak with America. You know, there's no
Hopefully.
reason to go to Europe. You have it all in America and everything in Mexico City. What more could you want? You know.
Like I said earlier, he's European. Why would he want to go back home?
Exactly.
Look at Guignac.
Oh yeah,
He already
Guiñac
made-
loves
yeah.
Mexico.
He loves.
Yeah,
He's
he loved it.
Mexican. We claimed them. Mexico claimed him.
did.
He's like, yeah, I'm Mexican now. So his
His
son
kids
is
are Mexican.
Exactly. Look, there you go.
Yeah. Well, what a generational talent is to come. Then hopefully we'll see. Hey, talking about that, does anyone know what happened to Chucho's kid? Is he still at en las Fuerzas Básicas de la América? Or
Last
is
time I
he
remember,
in Santos?
I think he's back in Ecuador if I remember correctly. He was in Ecuador again, but I do remember he was playing for Santos. But hey, he's always got a place back in America. So Fuerzas Básicas, welcome him back.
Yeah, and then it looks like Cuauhtémoc Blanco's youngest son is gonna be the one son he actually got that wants to play soccer. So
Oh
the
yeah,
one that he take to the stadium with his like little curly hair looks like more.
He's
like
at the
Ochoa's kid
games a
than his.
lot.
He is. Well,
I think that's something we like probably have to follow with like maybe he's gonna have a role, because he's at the game a lot. He's in the locker room a lot.
Yeah,
like-
more recently than before, to be honest.
I would love for Cuauhtémoc Blanco to have a place in the front office for America. Well, not the front office, but like in the
at
in the
club.
boardroom.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the club. Have an important role at the club, because you need that sometimes. You need someone to be able to shake it up. You look at Tena whenever he was with the Fuerzas Básicas, right?
Yeah,
We did a really good job, and
that'll be the biggest impact of anything. It'd be probably the
Yo,
scouting
imagine-
and stuff.
I can picture Tena getting upset at Bruno Cáceres
Oh,
and
God.
Nesta for messing up. They'll never be the same. They'll never want to make another mistake.
yeah, and sometimes you need that strong character in
Of course.
and not just in the locker room, but I think in the presence of the clubs, to be like, hey, look, don't fuck it up, or else I'll fucking kick your ass. And you look at Tano at his age, Jesus, that man is ripped. So whoever tries to go toe to toe with that man, good luck, because that you are coming out the other end. So, but overall, it was a good result for America. 7 wins in a row now. things are looking on the up and up. Now it's just consistently staying with this rhythm, right? So let's see what happens. We have San Luis up next, which is tomorrow. So if you guys are listening to this today and or tomorrow morning, we have an important game against San Luis. Gentlemen, if you had to give me a quick kind of preview in regards to that game, how do you guys see this America side going up against San Luis in such a short period of time?
I think we're gonna see our starters minus recharge, right? That's probably gonna be the move.
I agree.
And you
And-
know, it should be you're at home.
Exactly. Hmm.
I thought it was away for some reason.
So that's why I alluded to in the when I made my first comment. I thought both games were away.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's home.
It's good. It's good that we have the home game. So yes, I agree with Chris. I think starters tomorrow and then rotations on Friday.
Saturday.
Friday.
Saturday?
It's Necaxa. Aguascalientes.
Yes, it's a Saturday game. Y'all keep saying Friday.
But I have it here as Friday.
Chris,
It's
can you
Sat-
confirm Saturday or Friday?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Viewing. I thought it was Friday,
fuck,
too.
It's Saturday.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. I'm like,
It's
yo,
Saturday. Chris, can you triple
It is
confirm
Saturday.
this?
It
It is
is
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
y'all
Oh,
damn.
bugging now.
I could have sworn it was Friday too.
That's how.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been away from the power. We lost all sense of time.
Yo,
We don't
that
even know.
yo, what the hell?
No,
You know what
'cause look,
probably
I'll-
is? We got to confuse with the Mazatlan game that passed.
Yeah,
That was
you're-
Friday.
No, it's good.
you're-
You know what,
you
Chris?
might be
I'm
thinking
I'm
that.
checking on the FOTMob
Mhm.
FOTMob app, and it shows me Friday, and then when I click on details, it shows me Saturday. I'm like, well, get your
Don't
shit.
get
I'm on
use Forza football, guys. I'm not sponsored by Forza, but use Forza
Google.
football.
I'm not sponsored by Google either. I always go Google. first.
Yeah, I'm on
But
Google.
hey, if any of those two companies are listening, we are more than welcome to open up a conversation.
For
Uh,
sure.
Sit down
Hey,
with
that's
you guys.
perfect though. We play on a Tuesday, then on a Saturday. We don't have to really rush anything.
Nah.
No, but then we do have another game on
Wednesday against Santos, and then the Clásico on Saturday. It's a lot going on for America. Let's be honest.
And don't we have like a game at Nashville or somewhere thrown in there?
It's
That's
Nash-
after.
It's Nashville,
that's
and then
that's the week
Clásico.
after. Yeah, that's the week after the Clásico.
But the national
And-
game, we could throw in the academy. Players.
No, because it's two games. Remember, it's two games. It's Nashville, and then
And then
it's
we go to
another
Atlanta.
Clásico.
Yeah.
Chivas.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I forgot
Yeah.
the one in Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there
We
has
just-
to be rotation somewhere in
The
within those
Fuerza
4 league
Básica
games.
players. Fuerza Básica players
Just-
are gonna get like some minutes or the bench.
No,
honestly.
just send the under 18 to Atlanta. They can
But
take
it's
care
perfect though. Then this is when we have to push for Liguilla, and we have to push for the number one, like you guys said. You know,
Exactly.
we get that rest, and it's like a very much needed. And you guys know that back then, I would say I wanted to get repechaje instead of getting that
Yeah.
break. But with this, with all the games we went through and everything, I think
A break is much needed.
Yeah,
The break
it's-
is needed. Yeah, nah.
I mean, Araujo didn't play because of too many games under his belt, right? Was that his injury or his
Yeah, it was. I think it was something muscular. I think.
Yeah, it was a muscular injury, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
So it's best to get that extra to get that break, you
Yeah.
know. That
Bro,
bye
we've,
week.
we've been saying Friday for the whole podcast, and people are gonna be like, "These guys don't know anything."
Yeah, no, we apologize on that.
No,
and
I
look,
blame
it would've-
AJ for not telling us earlier.
He
I
did so.
s-
He
I
did.
said
He did.
Saturday,
And I
and
completely
y'all
ignored it. I was like,
switched
ah,
it.
this just went past me. I was like, nah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. AJ, look at AJ. Look at this noob. And now it's over here, us who's in the wrong. But no, it's good. It's good. Look, Saturday game, everything. Look, America, it needs 3 points regardless at home. The Aguascalientes one is gonna be the tricky one. We'll probably come back later on in the week and talk about that one.
Yep.
And we'll go from there. But gentlemen, I think this should pretty much wrap it up here for us. Anything else you guys want to add on before we kind of wrap it up?
I think the fact that we're playing at home against San Luis is probably a good thing, because I think if we were to go to San Luis, it would have been a very, very hard game. I think playing at home it's a doable game. It's not going to be a headache, in my opinion.
No, definitely. And well, let's just hope the team can respond to that and go on from there. Because like I said, the toughest match is going to be the one at Aguascalientes. Out of this whole month, I think that the toughest match is going to be the one, the Necaxa game.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens. But all right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys for making the comeback. And now let's hopefully we can deliver and give these listeners exactly what they deserve, and that is the best America coverage in English. So again, thank you so much, Christian. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, AJ. I'll leave you guys with any last words that you guys want to say, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Happy to be back, man.
All right.
Facts. Also, watch
Facts.
America versus America Netflix documentary. Not sponsored by Netflix, but please go watch that when you get an opportunity.
Yeah, go watch it. We're probably gonna do kind of like a breakdown here on the podcast. We'll talk about it. I got a lot of things to say, and I'm curious to see what these gentlemen have to say in regards to not only the history of America, but some of the things that maybe not a lot of us knew about. So hopefully you guys can watch it, tune in with us, and hopefully it'll be a great discussion. But with that said, all right, you guys have a wonderful time. Please be safe. We'll be back in a bit to talk to you guys about the upcoming games for America. Until then, take care, and as always, arriba America. Goodbye.